and welcome. This is the Community of Health series, 90 Days of Momentum Buildup. I am Dr. J. Hitson. For those of you who are new to the series, the Community of Health Buildup, the 90-day Momentum Buildup, is designed around the fact that so many times, oh my goodness, is designed around the fact. Sorry about that. Got my voice going in two different directions here. So, with regards to the reason why I established this series is because I've been doing this for so many years, and every year we come into the holidays, and individuals wreck all their progress. They really started to get some momentum, especially into the usually people start doing really good whenever we get into the fall, school starts, they get the routine down, all of that, and then they hit that they may do okay in October, maybe November, but then like once Thanksgiving hits all the way to New Year, it is just sheer chaos. And I'm just like, how many years am I going to go through this with people and without doing something? And that's just what this is about. This is about my effort to help all of you to, instead of this being just another one of those years where we're coming to the first of the year and okay, now I'm going to make the change, now I'm going to finally do whatever I needed to be doing all along. So that's what we're going to be talking about now. That where we are going to be diving into today specifically, we're going to be getting into habits. So one of the things that I run into is, I mean, frankly, if you're going to be healthy, if you want to get healthy and you're not there right now, it's going to require change. And change isn't always easy. And we have to look at how your habits are formed. The easiest way to do this is to utilize the power of the subconscious. Now, this is really straightforward science. You have two parts of your brain. You have the conscious and you have the subconscious. So the conscious is all the thoughts that you're having and the analyzing that you're doing, and just the different factors that are going through your head at any given time. The subconscious is all these automatic behaviors and automatic functions that are happening in your body and in your life that you really aren't even all that aware of. The subconscious is estimated to control 90%. Some of us say as high as 95, 90% of the things that you're doing on a daily basis, you're doing on a subconscious level. And we know this to be true. I mean, you can get in your car and you can start driving and you have no idea even how you got there. It's just subconscious. It's automated. I hope everybody here this morning, you brushed your teeth. Do you remember brushing your teeth? No, but you're sure you did. It's become an automatic behavior. See, we can make other good habits, the things that we want, we can make them as automated as driving your car or brushing your teeth. It's just you just have to make it an intention. Which, by the way, it's so much easier to do when you're doing it in community. So that's one of the things that I've really strived to do is to take these different healthy habits and make them as easy, as effortless, as automatic as brushing my teeth. So, first and foremost, it's really a recognition of okay, what behaviors do you want to be adding? What are the different things that you want to be doing on a daily basis that you are not doing right now? You got to create the list. That's where you have to start. Awareness is one of the biggest factors. Let me give you an example of one of the behaviors that I needed to change for my own healthy habits. Many years ago, I wasn't sleeping and it was brutal. I did a lot of traveling back then, so I was always in different time zones, in different hotels with different lights and different sounds, and there was just so many factors, and it was wrecking my sleep. And especially we'd be working for so long whenever I was out of town. I mean, and then I'd come home and it was just a nightmare. And add to that, I still hadn't really regulated my sleep from having children. So, they were still, like 5, 6, 7 years old at the time. I needed sleep and I needed a way that I could do that anywhere at any time. I needed a way that I could regulate my sleep. And you know what? It was really I used this system many years ago, and I will tell you to this day, it's one of the best investments of time. Cost me nothing. One of the best investments of time I've ever made, because here I am decades later and I can go to sleep like that and stay asleep. And even if something does wake me up in the middle of the night, I can get right back down again, which is just an incredible blessing. That's the kind of things that we want to get automated. And so when you're looking at how do you do this, there's a lot of different ways, and we're going to get into some of those here as we go through. One of the ones is creating environmental cues, just making it so that your environment is conducive to what it is that you want to be doing. So, I mean, and you've heard a lot of these before. Like, so if you want to get up and you want to exercise, like have your exercise clothes ready to go right there first thing in the morning, so you don't have to go and find them. That's one example. For individuals who want to change the way they eat, well, change the format of your kitchen. Change what's in there. Change some of those different dynamics in those scenarios. I'm giving you like the most broad-based examples, but how your environment functions dictates a whole host of how your habits go. I shared in one of my earlier series of how I used environmental cues to change really the entire dynamic of how my family functioned, especially first thing in the morning. It's really a lot. It's really an incredible. So, for those of you who didn't hear the story, when my children were little and we were every single day, it felt like we were saying, "Wear your shoes, where's your backpack, where's your homework?" I mean, it was a fight that we were having every single day. And when we moved from Tennessee to Florida, I was like, okay, we can't take this with us. I cannot keep living my life this way. So when we got to Florida, before we did anything, the first thing, I just kind of walked through the new house and kind of naturally knew, where would the cues make sense? Where would the backpack naturally land? Where can the shoes, where can we put those so that it just feels very fluid, very natural. And the very first day, we take our kids in, we show them before they got to see the rooms or anything else. Like, we hear first thing, you see this basket right here? This is where your shoes go. Take your shoes off, put your shoes in the basket. Okay, see that hook right there? That's where your backpack goes. Go ahead, put it on there. I'm going to tell you, that's all the training required. We never had to talk about it again. Their shoes always went in the basket, their backpack always went on the hook, and we had everything, and it changed. It was a huge. I mean, I know it seems small, but it was a huge change in our stressors. So one of the things that so your environment and how you create the environment around you. Now, this is the hard part. Okay, this is the hard part. Is that you have to take a breath, and you have to take a step back from everything that you're doing and really look at how your life is functioning. Because here's the problem. So many of us, we're just so wrapped up in our days. We don't ever stop to assess, is this even working for me? Is the way I am handling my life even functional for me? And see, I mean, again, that's the biggest problem. We just don't stop. So many of us. Okay, let's go back to another really important point. Your subconscious automates anything you do on a daily basis, whether that's good for you or bad for you. Either way, it's going to automate it. And again, let's hit. I'm going to say that again. Your subconscious is going to automate anything that you do on a daily basis. The reason is pretty simple. So if you do something on every single day, well, that takes energy to remember that. And so the subconscious, in a way to conserve energy, because the body's always trying to find ways to conserve energy. That's why we don't like to exercise, because we're trying to conserve energy, even though it's good for us. So when you are doing something every single day, it doesn't discern like, well, we wish she wasn't doing that every day. Let's not automate that. Let's keep making that hard. No, it's just trying to conserve energy. It assumes that you're making good choices. Give you a really good example here. How many people are just completely addicted to their phones and have a very difficult time not scrolling through? That's not something that was biologically wired. That's not something that we weren't born with our phones in our hands and immediately. It's a habit that we developed, and it's been automated by your subconscious because it's something you did on such a consistent basis with the right kind of reinforcement. That's it. And so you do this already. Now let's just do it to your benefit. Let's do it to for your health. Let's do it for the things that actually make you happy and healthy and feel amazing and proud of who you are. So, here's what I am going to encourage you with is number one is you have to find a breath. Now, so many people say, my life is just so busy. It's so chaotic. I just I can't find even the time to think. Look at your screen time. That's the first place. Look at your screen time. And I know it's really ironic. Here we are on screens talking, but look at your screen time. You're going to find hidden gems of time being trapped somewhere in all of the different screens. And a lot of individuals are staying up way too late. And some people, it's the first thing that they're doing first thing in the morning, and they're already getting trapped in their screens. Um, and just for what it's worth, the big thing I know that's happening with me, and it has to be happening to so many individuals, just about every time, I pick up my phone, even to do something that I don't want to, even if I'm just trying to use the calculator, I pick it up, and then there's these notifications that take me on a tangent. And now, 25 minutes later, I'm finally remembering why I picked my phone up in the first place. That happens to all of us. So just you need to get a breath and to look out how is what habits are working for you, what aren't. And really, this is the question: what would a perfect day look like? What would a perfect day look like? So, and not in the context of I don't have to work, I don't have to I don't have to do the carpool or whatever. Don't Let's not go there. Let's just start with within the contains of your current life. What would a great day be? And what are some of the simple things that you would like to see either eliminated or added that would really change your dynamic? Now, one of the beautiful things, though, is when you do this and you do it in community, it takes on a whole other dimension. Okay, so for instance, I mean, the people around us can absolutely reinforce, well, positive and negative habits. um I don't know which category I put this in just right now, but like I would never have started drinking coffee if it wasn't for the people around me. I never liked the taste of it, but just as one of those things, I just wanted to be around, while because they were all drinking coffee. I wanted to be in the midst, and I started drinking coffee too, and eventually got over the flavor, and now I love coffee. And I drink it all by myself. So these things can go to the positive or to the negative in community. But that's why I want this to be part of your community discussion. The people who you care about, the people who love you, what are the things that corporately we would like to start doing better? All right. So, one of the other things, another example, um, a lot of you who are familiar with what's going on in my life right now. My dad had an accident a couple of months back now, and basically his whole life has been turned upside down as with the rest of my family. And it was interesting. This one of those weekends we were talking about how the hardest part is they just don't have a routine. They just don't have Nothing is on autopilot in his care. They're having to think through every single step. It's exhausting, absolutely exhausting. And so when you look at you want to have this very dynamic. Most of the people who I work with, they're not couch potatoes. They are not the people who are like sitting there, hitting the remote, watching, binge watching 24/7. No, they're people who want to make a difference, and they know their lives matter. They know they matter to other people. They're usually, whether it's in their community, in their family, whether it's in their business or whatnot, they understand how important it is that they have energy, that they're focused, that their mental clarity is there, and they want to live a very dynamic, robust, full life. Well, again, how do you do that without completely draining your resources, without being so depleted and so exhausted? Automate. Subconscious. We get asked all the time, can you really have it all? Like this is just something that comes up so often. Um, and it's a conversation that we have very often, especially when I'm working with patients, because they're trying to find a way to have it all. And one of the reasons why they're coming and they're talking to me is because they found that, like, the linchpin is their health. If they aren't healthy, they have a hard time doing all the things. If you're exhausted, of course you can't do all that. And while you can, more money or more time or more relationships and all of those things are factors, but health, without their health, that's the first domino that needs to fall for them to have this all of the above life. And so one of the things that we talk about in there is, if you want to have it all, and again, no matter what your energy levels are, the more you work on automating the absolute most important behaviors, it's incredible how much you get done effortlessly, and it's just easy. I mean, and this is just one of those, like, simplest ever things. Like, I know I need to be hydrated. That's very, very simple. I know this is important. And, like, so this in this bottle, this used to have mineral water. Now I just use these bottles. I love them. I love drinking out of them. They're easy to use. Okay, something as simple as, when I kept just refilling, my Yeti cup or whatever, that wasn't working. I wasn't getting the hydration. I would get to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, did I fill up once, twice? I can't even remember how many times I refilled it. So, and it wasn't working, and I wasn't getting my markers up. So something as simple as filling up all three of these first thing in the morning. Here are my three. Filling up all three first thing in the morning. This one's already gone, so I know that one's done. Almost there with this one, and I still got this one to go. I just have to get through these by the end of the day. That simple automation has saved me so much energy and just simple frustrations. Like, those are the kind of small things that you're looking at. Well, it's a small thing that leads to a huge thing. Hydration is probably one of the biggest epidemic issues that we have in this nation. People are so dehydrated. I look at the labs all day long. People are constantly dehydrated. So these are the simple things. Like, how can you simplify your life? So in the next 7 days, here's a very simple thing. Very, 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 very simple. We don't need to change everything today. For the next 7 days, create enough space for awareness. What is what would a perfect day look like? What would it be a perfect day of work? What would be a perfect day of not at work? Because a lot of us, obviously a lot of us are are working, or we have those kind of schedules, and our off and on schedules are very, very different. So what does that look like? Take the time to actually think about it, and just write it out. And furthermore, as you're looking at the different habits that are working for you, brushing your teeth is working for you, versus the habits that are not working for you, this is the conversation. This is the community conversation. And get some feedback from the people who love you. get some feedback from the people who are watching you and let them help you. Let them help you see where you're bringing some chaos, where you're having some energy leaks in your system. Because I'm going to tell you, we have blind spots. We all do. We all have these blind spots that we just don't see. So that is one of the biggest things. So find the habits that are working. Let's talk about over the next course of the next several days. We're going to talk about automating them and how to automate them. That's going to be really like this whole entire. This is the going to be like our whole entire thing, and then we're going to get into some of the different friction points. So over the course of the other thing that for those of you who are really like, yes, I need my life to be easier. I want some things on autopilot. I want things to be so much simpler. What I encourage everybody is in my in the notes in the description, we are going to be having a free 1 hour webinar on something called BioRecode. Right now, I'm working through. It's been really incredible. I'm just so happy with how our first round of BioRecode is going. We are about halfway through this particular, and BioRecode is all about how to reprogram the subconscious, and especially we're going to get into those really difficult, the things that those habits are just not moving. So if how to optimize your subconscious is something that is you're like, I'm really interested in this. I really do want my life to be easier. I want some more things on autopilot. I would just want more good habits, less bad habits. Go ahead and click that link and just put in for the registration. And there's kind of a waiting list right now for the next free webinar, but you'll receive the notification when that's coming up and be able to access that, whether you access it live or the recording, but we'll get that off to you. That will be happening again in the next month as we're wrapping up the first round of BioRecode and the power of the subconscious. So I really do. Please, do hit that link. Again, if you find out it's not for you, then don't worry about it. But I'm going to tell you, it is really fascinating when you can take these very, very difficult things that you've been struggling with for years and maybe decades, and you can see total transformation relatively quickly. It's just incredibly powerful when you understand how to utilize your subconscious. So let me just take a second here. Yeah. um, a lot of us do. I'm just looking through. A lot of us do have some really bad habits that are just they're as automated as brushing our teeth, right? That's absolutely true. And breaking those, I will say it's easier to build a good habit than it is to break a bad one. They and unwind. You can't like you can't unring the bell, but basically you have to create new pathways around it. And that's one of the things that we do get a lot into during BioRecode is how to deal with these behaviors that are really really rooted in. Absolutely. Oh, oh my goodness. Yes. And for those of you who really need very, very specific, work for your health and for what you're dealing with, we do have consultations available. We'll have to go to our website. But one of the things that we can do is we can actually like talk through here are the very, very, very specific issues that different individuals are dealing with, and then directing people to where the best resources are for some of those. So I'll be getting that. I'll put that in one of my next descriptions. So for those of you who are interested um, in finding out more of how to deal with some very, very specific things, especially some very specific health issues. So fantastic. Well, that is about how much time I had allotted for today. Thank you all so much. And please, as you were going through, if you have any questions about BioRecode or what, put them in the comments. Let us know. Shoot us a message, and we are thrilled to help. Thank you all so much.